It's Indiana in the morning on AM 1160 WCCS 101.1 FM. Let's meet the brand new, newly minted Indiana Borough Manager. He's Brad Gotshall. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Todd. Thank you for having me this morning.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's good to have you in here today. That's a pretty big job you're taking on.
It is. It's one that I've been very interested in for a number of years, and I'm happy to have it, especially here in Indiana.
Now, for folks who don't know you, give us the thumbnail. What's the background that brings you to this point in your career?
Yeah, so Todd, I actually struck an interest in local government when I was 18 years old. As a senior in high school, I ran for Borough Council in my hometown of Frackville, which is out in Schuylkill County.
Mm-hmm.
I successfully took that position and held it for 2 terms. At that point, I became borough manager in Red Hill, which is in Montgomery County, and then luckily I was able to come out and interview in Indiana here in January, and the Borough Council was gracious enough to have me on board.
Now compare the size of that city of which you're borough manager to this one.
Yeah, quite a difference, Todd. The Red Hill was about 2,300 residents as compared to Indiana at 14,000 or so. So
yeah,
it's quite a difference.
and this community has so many different aspects. That job, borough manager, you have to pretty much have your hand in everything. And your head has to be in every different aspect of what the community is about, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really the position of borough manager is an interesting one. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. It's my head is spinning every day, and I'm lucky enough to have a staff that knows what they're doing in their respective areas. So they make it easy on me, I must say.
And in other communities, the former borough manager would just move on or go to retirement in some other community, wouldn't be able to be a resource for you, but you've got a pretty good resource there in Chief Sutton.
An amazing resource. Chief and I speak almost every day, and as long as he's there, I know I'm in good hands, really.
So, as Indiana Borough Manager, what are the major issues that you expect to be dealing with here? Let's just cut it down to the next 6 months. In the next 6 months, what are some of the major issues that we're going to hear about from you?
Yeah, so I have to say, Todd, that this current Borough Council is very, I often don't like to use the word, but progressive in the fact that they are willing to, kind of open up their eyes and try some things that might be out of their comfort zone a little bit. Right now, I'm working on establishing an emergency notification system, kind of like that reverse 911 system that the university and many other municipalities have. We just revamped the website to make it more user friendly.
Boy, you sure did!
Yeah,
wow.
Thank you, Todd. Yeah, it's we're going to be putting on some things there like online bill pay for our utilities. Report an issue form, just a number of things that's going to make it easier for the residents to communicate with their municipality. We just did that, and just doing some things internally, kind of wrapping my head around what's going on with the organization itself.
There are some carryover issues, of course, that you need to have on your plate, and included among them is the proposal for the bike path through town. That is something that we anticipate we're going to be hearing about much more as the weather gets a little bit nicer and people start to think about that a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah, of course, Todd, there are a number of players in that specific issue. We have the university, the borough, you have the township, White Township, and, of course, the county. And we're all coming to the table to try to hash this thing out and make it so that those that want the bike path get the bike path, and they get a good product out of it. But at the same time, it's done in a very efficient and cost-effective way. So, we have some grant funding that we're looking at, and that we have already come upon. And of course, each of those particular players of the issue have pledged to put some money on the table as well to make this thing happen. So yeah, I mean we're trying to get that thing squared away and get it taken care of.
You think about infrastructure here in Indiana Borough, and we talk so often with Dave Fairman about the various aspects of his job, and what's underneath the streets, what's on top of the streets, And in our case, what's across the street, and I look over at the community building there, the Indiana Free Library building. Indiana Borough, of course, has a big stake in that.
Yeah, we do, and a perfect segue there as well, Todd. I know right now we're, trying to chase after numerous grants to take care of the community center and library. It's such an asset of the community. Great building here. You have a great view of it here downtown, and as such, Borough Council is very much interested in restructuring it, make sure it's taken care of. As you know, the sidewalk there is closed and has been closed for a while due to some falling bricks, and so it's obviously a danger that we need to address. And right now we've either been able to secure or close to being able to secure about $2.9 million or so for the building, internal and external. So we're looking to make a great investment in it.
From our angle as well, it's not hard to look past the library building, the community center building, to the former now fire station, which in Indiana Borough's case, as the owner of that building, that becomes a tremendous asset to you, I would assume.
Absolutely, yes, it does. We have that entire building now, and so we're looking at what we can do with that. Half of the building, and obviously the police department is within Borough Hall, and they're looking to move over and make their area, and of course get their police cruisers out of the weather indoors and keep them cleaner for much longer. So and also, Todd, I'd be remiss if I don't, just going back to the previous issue of the library, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Senator White and Representative Reed for all their assistance in securing grants. And without their support and continued support, we wouldn't be able to do the things we do here in Indiana. So
Indiana Borough in the past 6 or 7 years, with the downtown renaissance, with the creation of IRMC Park, the rebuilding of the Vinegar Hill Steps, we've talked about the possibilities with guys like Dave Janusak in downtown Indiana. Someone like Denise Liggett with the Indiana County Tourist Bureau. You have to be part of that conversation, too. And it must just, from my standpoint, I look at what you're going to be able to do as borough manager and say, wow, this must just be a great marketing tool for you to look at this beautiful downtown and see what happens next.
Oh, my gosh. It is. I mean, I to be honest with you, I haven't, before I came to Indiana for the interview, I've never been here. I hadn't heard of Indiana, so now that I'm out here, I'm just kind of looking around and saying, how didn't I ever hear of this place? It's a great place to be, to live, to work, to play. And yes, you're right. We have a great resource that we can market and use to really bring tourists in. Of course, with the university being another one, but we are going after, our staff is working with downtown and the Tourist Bureau to try to secure some designations such as great places and become a sustainable community and all these things that when people are shopping, if you will, for a place to live, they can look at our long list of awards and designations and say, hey, I want to go to Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the downtown business district is a very vital place, and it's interesting to me to watch its evolution. Big retail, and then for many years it was known as Lawyer Alley, and the various different businesses that weren't retail-oriented downtown. Now retail comes back into the picture with Indiana Borough, and certainly downtown Indiana works with that. Yesterday, the bid workshop for downtown Indiana members, and I'm sure that you were a part of that discussion because Indiana Borough has to be very much involved in the business improvement district whole issue.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was there, and a number of people from the borough were. Myself and Dana Turgeon, my assistant manager, were at that workshop and trying to discuss how the borough can be involved in downtown, because obviously, as you know, we're two separate entities, but we without one another we wouldn't exist. So we really try to work together to create a viable downtown, which in turn obviously creates a viable borough in whole. So the borough is going to continue to be in communication with downtown to make an upcoming bid that works for not only the borough and downtown, but also the individual business owners and shops that we have, which we're just so blessed to have them down here, and hopefully they can stay.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's make that happen. He's Brad Gotshall. He is the new manager, the Indiana Borough manager. You're going to come back and visit with us on a regular basis, I hope.
Absolutely, Todd.
And,
Absolutely.
And we want to thank you for coming now. It is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. It's AM 1160 WCCS 101.1 FM. We're headed toward Fox News coming up in just a couple of moments. And then the